Hello, Rabbi. My racing pigeon has died. And I am wondering, can I bury it in your cemetery?
A pigeon in a Jewish cemetery? Certainly not.
Well, if I went to St. Mark's up the road, do you think that they would let me bury it there if I gave them £10,000?
Well, why didn't you tell me it was a Jewish pigeon? What did you say?
Did you say something?
No.
I'm not surprised after last night.
What are you talking about?
Let's change the subject, shall we? How was the fancy dress ball?
Well, I wish you'd come.
I'm sure.
Well, you know that I wanted you to. It was you that changed your mind.
You must have made a marvellous Mickey Mouse.
What's got into you, Doris?
Did you collect your costume from the costumiers?
Yeah.
And then you changed at the office?
Yeah.
Didn't you feel silly walking in as Mickey Mouse all on your own? Or perhaps you weren't. Perhaps you met a Minnie Mouse there. Perhaps you tweaked her little tail and said, "Let me be your Mickey for tonight." Is that what happened, Henry?
I don't understand you, Doris. We were all set to go to the fancy dress ball as Mickey and Minnie, and then yesterday you said you'd changed your mind, but I should go on my own and enjoy myself. Well, I didn't.
Ah.
I didn't. I had a miserable time. And when I came home, you wouldn't even let me sleep in our bed. Made me sleep on the floor. Well, I can tell you... What the hell?
Your Minnie Mouse last night, Henry.
I don't understand.
After you left, I felt sorry for you, Henry. And I collected my costume from the costumiers and went to the ball.
What?
I was the mouse whose tail you tweaked, Henry. The little mouse you danced with. The little mouse to whom you said, "My wife doesn't understand me."
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. It was me you took for the drive. Me you parked with in Lover's Lane. Me you... Shall I say it, Henry?
No, I'd rather you didn't.
I think this calls for a little explanation, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Well, go ahead. I'm listening.
When I got to the costumiers, I found that the Mickey Mouse costume had already been hired and I went as Batman.
Tomorrow, the shocking truth about checkbook journalism. Bella Skeggs is the saddest mother in Britain. Her son was the beast of Biggin Hill. Fleet Street offered her vast sums to tell her heartbreak story, but Mrs. Skeggs refused to trade on her personal tragedy.
Until now. Read my heartbreak story in tomorrow's Sunday Stir.
It's do-it-yourself week in the Sunday Stir. Have fun, save money, and do it yourself. When you're on the job, whether you're sawing, hammering, or screwing, get your wife to help you. The Sunday Stir shows you how. And a special offer exclusive to readers of the Sunday Stir. Be the envy of all your neighbours with our amazing new paint stripper, only $3.99. Plus, don't go out on a limb, a grim warning against the craze for do-it-yourself transplants. All this plus poverty Hollywood style. David Niven remembers when he didn't have 2 coffee beans to rub together. All in tomorrow's explosive Sunday Stir. Start the day with a bang.
Governor, could you give us 20p for a cup of coffee and a bun? I'm rather well starving.
Go away. We've been dancing for your sort all evening.
Hello.
Today we had planned to examine the question, should a woman be admitted to the priesthood, and if so, will Thora Hird lose her membership of Equity? Instead, we are taking a look at what is known as the God slot. The God slot is the time television devotes to religious programs on Sunday evenings. Speaking for myself, I'm afraid I'm not one of those people who go to church religiously, but I am one of that vast audience of worship buffs who tune in every Sunday evening to the God slot. The TV ratings have shown that there is an enormous demand for quiet thoughts and words of comfort. Indeed, the programme Stars and Sunday succeeded in decimating church attendances for years. With me in the studio to trace the history of television's God slot is the distinguished actor, Sir John Gielgud.
In the beginning, there was darkness upon the face of the programme schedules, and Sunday evenings were without form and void. And the programme planners said, let there be a God slot. And there was a God slot. And YTV created it in their own lowly image because they feared the multitude were thick and would switch off in great numbers to seek the comfort of the beeb. And it came to pass they brought forth sweet music, comely maidens and soft options, and they did scored stars on Sunday. For many moons the voice of Jesse Yates flowed with milk and honey, and he played the organ, and so blessed were the hard of hearing. A certain poor widow requested Buddy Greco to sing Walking My Baby Back Home, so in the fullness of time was her request granted. And James Mason did gird up his loins, read from the book of Job, and strutteth his stuff for a special low fee. The multitude were exceeding pleased and marvelled at the ruins of the polystyrene abbey, the plastic foliage, and the studio miss. The critics and scribes smote the programme, but the planners were strong, saying, if thou cast the first stone, we will cast Vince Hill. Now it came to pass that Jesse Yates was cast out by the Pharisees, and his mighty organ was silenced. And behold, a new star arose, and he was called Robert Dougal. Among the Philistines were some who did smock and revile, for in their folly they did believe that Dougal was but a small dog from magic Roundup. And so a host of hosts were brought forth. Robert Dougal begat Gordon Jackson, who begat Noel Gordon, who begat Moira Anderson, and each begetter who begat got better, and the original begetter got bitter. There came a time of great tribulation when the multitude turned away and the program waned. It waned for 40 days and 40 nights. And so it came to pass that your 100 best hymns did fill the God slot. And the multitude who knew from nothing were again of good cheer. Once again, it was truly the bland leading the bland.
Thank you, Mr. John. Incidentally, viewers might be interested to know that Yorkshire Television will shortly be paying a musical tribute to one of the most versatile writers of hymns when Ned Cherrin introduces Psalm by Wesley. David Kernan will render Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Millicent Martin will render Rejoice, the Lord is King, and Ned Cherrin will render the whole thing quite unwatchable. We are very happy to welcome to the Probe studio today 3 distinguished guests. His Eminence Pius Vivaldi, the Archbishop of Shelburne, and Rabbi Golding. We've been discussing the God slot, so perhaps we can start with Rabbi Golding, who's had some experience of American television. I think that you were technical advisor on the film of Exodus.
Now, I did the sequel, Jews 2. And now I'm writing a documentary that explains the tradition of Judaism has often puzzled Gentiles. It's called Is Circumcision a Foregone Conclusion?
Pius Vivaldi, we've seen your new papal style in action, which has drawn enormous crowds in every country that you've visited. Do you sometimes feel that this, shall we say, roadshow approach to religion is a little too theatrical?
Ah, you mean the smell of the grease paint, the roar of the creed? No, I like it. It's good.
Some people claim that you share the same charisma as St. Paul. Would you agree?
Well, I don't want to pontificate, but he's around. St. Paul and I, we share the same charismas. And to anyone who is watching, I say post early for charismas. He's a little joke that goes around the that.
With so many reforms being introduced, do you still find it difficult to accept birth control?
Well, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
Finally, to the Archbishop. The Church of England is becoming increasingly involved in everyday community affairs. Are you a champion of married priests?
Oh, undoubtedly. But I feel strongly that after the marriage, one of them should give up the priesthood.
The many problems facing our religious leaders are broadly similar, but the ways of tackling them are vastly different. Perhaps today our three distinguished guests can point the way towards church unity. Are we drawing ecumenically closer?
We believe so, and would like to issue this joint declaration.
Whatever we do, we're gonna get through it together. We may not go far, but sure as a star. Wherever we are, it's together.
Wherever I go, I know he goes. A duo. Wherever I go, I know he's me. A trio.
No fits, no fights, no feuds, and no egos. Amigos, together. Through thick and through thin, all out or all in. And whether it's wind, place, or show.
With you for me, and me for you. Oh, we'll battle through whatever we do.
Together, wherever we go. Year after year, older and older, side by side, sharing a tear, lending a shoulder, side by side. One is lonely and two is boring. Think what you can ignore it. Side by side, by side, by side, by side, by side, by side, by side.
Where would you be without me, Bishop? God only knows where I'd be. I look at yourself, you are so dreary. Oh, dearie, oh me. How could you cope without my friendship and my kindly old faith? Don't you know, man, they can't buy friendship? It's so hard to replace my man.
We belong to a mutual love and relation society.
He thinks I'm a handsome and I'm smart. I think that he's the work of art. He says that I'm the greatest man, and likewise I'm his biggest fan. The only fighting that we do is just who loves who more than who.
And we go on like that from dusk till dawn. Wherever we go, whatever we do, and whether it's wind, place, or show.
But you for me, and me for you. We'll battle through whatever we do. Together, wherever. Together, wherever.
Together, wherever we go.
About you, baby. It's gonna come true, baby. They think that we're through, but baby, you'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate. Starting here, starting now. Honey, everything's coming up roses. You got nothing to do but relax. Kiss
then relieve these men. Right, lads, take a break.
Oh, but jeez, I needed that smoke.
Now here on BBC Two, it's time for Personal Choice. A season of early Hollywood classics personally chosen by the BBC Accounts Department in an effort to save money. Today's golden penny pincher is Southern Exposure.
I can hardly get my breath in this heat.
Alma, ain't you got nothing better to do with yourself than sitting there brooding? Why don't you get yourself a hobby like needlework or nymphomania? Where you're carrying on, you ain't gonna amount to nothing.
I'll amount to something when you shuffle off that little old mortal coil. All this will be mine. You're gonna die, Big Daddy Dooley. You hear what I say?
Oh, and just what are you fixing to do with this estate, girlie?
I'll restore it to its former grandeur. A typical southern home full of gentlefolk. Wisteria on the outside, hysteria on the in. There'll be dinner parties, soirees, and no lack of balls.
Speaking of which, where's that faggy favorite of yours?
Who are you talking about, Big Daddy?
Plato.
He's out to lunch.
You mean lunch?
So why is he taking the clothesline?
Well, I guess it's an improvement. He used to take the clothes as well. Sashaying around in frilly pink underwear. I didn't have a thing to wear.
Speak of the devil. Afternoon, Elmer. Howdy, Big Daddy.
Don't howdy me, boy. Isn't it time that you experienced a brutal sexual awakening and settled down? When are you and Alma gonna name the day? I'll pay for the trousseau. And yours too, Alma.
There ain't gonna be no wedding. Alma and me, it wouldn't work.
Oh, well, I know that you wouldn't work, boy. You never have. But Alma here, she's no slouch.
Forget it, we ain't suited.
Why, in the name of Colonel Sanders, ain't you suited? You've known each other since you was kids. You shared the same books, the same toys, the same repressions. So what have you got against this fine young female?
She's my sister.
So you start with an advantage. You know her folks.
I reckon you got rocks in your head, Big Daddy, not to know who your kinfolk are. Mentally speaking, you're just not integrated.
Don't you ever use that word in this house.
Better get used to it, old man. President Eisenhower says he's going to unify us and all them colored folks.
How that man ever got into the White House, I will never know. Next thing, they'll be electing some Hollywood movie star to run the country.
Now, I know you're crazy, Big Daddy. I reckon that the sun has addled your brain. I think I'll go rest in my room a while.
Seems I don't get no respect around here no more.
Well, you brought it on yourself, old man. I mean, look the way you treated Cousin Cormie. She wanted to be a Southern belle, so what'd you do? You hung her up in the church steeple.
It's pretty good time, don't you?
Sounds like Elmer's got another of her genuine collars.
Miss Alma, you in here, honey?
I might have guessed that was you, Gaylord Leclerc.
Why so formal? People who know me well call me gay.
I never listen to gossip.
I dropped by to apologize. Last time I was here, I acted pretty badly.
You ain't exactly given an award-winning performance today. I was wrong about you, Gaylord. I've been wrong all along the line, and I'm up to here with your excuses. Before the day is out, I shall probably go blind, lose my reason, take to drink, or wreck the car.
Why, Alma? Why?
It happens in all my pictures. Mama Dooley, you get back into bed once you hear what I say.
Don't think I don't know what you're trying to do to me. You're trying to kill me. Keeping me locked in that room day after day, watching those Benny Hill repeats. I'm not as senile as I look. I've electrified the doorknob of my bedroom, and if any of you try to get near me, you'll be destroyed.
Which doorknob, Big Mama?
This doorknob.
This is a dummy.
You don't think I do my own stunts at my age, do you?